Hello and welcome to the fourth week, our final class of the Athlete's Mental and Physical Recovery series. Today our class is going to be themed around learning to have a growth mindset. So let's just begin today in our first asana, which is going to be a toe squat. So coming to the middle of the mat on your knees, with the toes tucked under, reach back, spreading each toe apart so there's equal weight on them. And then begin to sit back as much as you can toward the heels. If this is too intense, then you can keep the hands planted on the floor, leaning forward, being sure to listen to the body. If you're sitting up, then let's go ahead and take our hands into prayer behind our backs, maybe facing the fingertips down to make it a little bit easier, or just reaching for opposite elbows. As we're here, begin to connect with your breath, setting any intention you have for your practice today. Begin to notice how your body is feeling at the beginning of this practice. Just taking inventory of the state of your mind, emotions, and physical being. Using that breath to breathe through the discomfort here. Many of us neglect giving our feet the attention they deserve. So try to stay here, staying focused on that breath. We have about 45 seconds left here. I'm going to leave you some space to go inward, to get out of the mind and into the body. All right, with your next exhale, if you have your arms in prayer, go ahead and release them now to the mat behind you, untucking the feet and extending the legs ahead of you. As you inhale, lift the hips, lifting into a supine plank as the head drops back. Then exhale, lowering the hips, head coming back up. Inhale, lifting, pressing those hips up. And exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lifting and holding it this time, creating a straight line through the body. The core is engaged. We're not breaking through the back here. Just a couple more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. As you let it go, slowly lower yourself back to the mat, finding your way back to the sits bones. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, begin to fold from the hips first, maintaining a flat spine. Then if the body allows, with your next exhale, allow the chest and forehead to melt over the legs, finding our way into our caterpillar pose. Try to relax into this pose, using any props if necessary, maybe resting onto a pillow or bolster. Once you have settled into stillness, scan through the body again, trying to be intentional to release any tension or resistance you notice yourself still holding on to. Inhale into the low belly space. Exhale fully and slowly, letting all that air leave the lungs as you melt deeper into this pose. Inhale, drawing that breath into any areas of tension. As you exhale, imagine that tension leaving the body. When we stay connected to the breath, helps us to allow our thoughts to fade away a little. And when we find this meditative state of mind, it allows us to see things with more clarity, from a different perspective that doesn't require our thinking, but simply listening. And when we can get into this habit in our lives, it helps us to learn to flow with more ease, much like the characteristics of water. Powerful or gentle, able to fill whatever space it's in, or move around obstacles or barriers that may come in its way. Continue breathing deeply, staying present here for just a few more moments. On your next exhale, gently begin to roll the spine back up one vertebrae at a time. And in your own time, find your way onto your back for a short rebound. Gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back, arms at the sides, palms facing up. And simply feel the echo of that pose, noticing any changes of sensations within the body. Perhaps noticing a greater calm in the mind. Feel free to pause the video if you want to stay in your rebound even longer, but if you're ready to go to our next pose, then gently turn onto your left side and meet me towards the middle back of the mat. We're going to first bring in our left leg towards our hip, keeping the right leg extended ahead of us, and then move that left leg back slightly so we're finding our hurdler stretch. Take an inhale as you lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, first fold as far as you can with the straight back. And then if your body is allowing today, begin taking a few gentle waves of the chest. As you exhale, lowering the chest, pulling the toes in toward the shin. As you inhale, lifting the chest and relaxing the ankle. Just moving at your own speed a few times, making this feel good for the body. And then when you're ready, with your exhale, settle down over that front leg. Once again, finding that state of surrender. Just be sure that the primary bending is happening from the hips first, and then from the rest of the upper body. Again, you can use a prop like a bolster or a pillow if you wish to rest onto something for a little extra support. Take an inhale, coming back to the breath. And exhale, letting go of anything you don't need in this moment right now. When we give our bodies this much needed time for recovery, for stillness and balance in our lives, it truly becomes so much easier to listen honestly to our bodies, to over time begin to set aside our egos, and to be reminded why we are doing something in the first place. What is fueling us to do it? And should it be what's fueling us to do it? when we can have this awareness, the self-honesty, it can help us to find a path that's truly meant for us, where we don't fight and resist and try to control every turn, but we can just learn to be in the flow, to go with the process. This is where real growth and transformation takes place. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhaling fully, surrendering a little deeper into this pose. And then when you're ready, gently roll the spine back up one vertebrae at a time again. And we're simply going to pivot, or however is easiest for you, switch sides. So now the right leg has that heel coming in toward the hip. And you can move that leg back a little bit further if possible. Take an inhale, lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, first fold from the hips with that straight back, and then begin taking those waves of the chest again. Inhaling as the chest rises, exhaling as it falls, toes pulling in toward the shin. Just moving at your own speed, moving with the breath. And then go ahead and settle in over that leg now. Finding stillness. Relaxing the foot, ankle, the lower leg, upper leg. Everything totally heavy. Upper body surrendered. Inhaling relaxation, and exhale, letting go. Let go of fears, let go of your doubts, let go of your regrets, meeting yourself with compassion right here, right now. Whatever has happened in the past, or whatever has not happened, the failures, the no's, the disappointments, they've each been a step of our journey that has led us to where we're at now and where we're going to be. It's easy to be grateful for the things that do happen that we wish for. But sometimes we can forget that the things that didn't happen could also be a blessing in disguise, because they could change the entire trajectory of our lives, of our journey. But in this moment right now, you are exactly where you need to be. So tap into that peace of the stillness, of the experience of this very moment. Let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, gently begin to roll the spine back up one vertebrae at a time. And once again, meet me on your back for a short rebound. Gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back, palms facing up. And once more, feel the echo of the pose. Alright, staying on our backs now, we are going to go into our next asana, which is our twisted roots. So let's lift the knees, making a 90-degree angle, then bring the right leg over the left, and see if you can also get that right foot wrapped around the left ankle. Inhale, cactusing the arms at the sides. As you exhale, gently allow the legs to fall to the left as you look over the right shoulder to complete the twist. Maybe holding the legs with the left hand. Moving the legs higher toward the chest to make it a little more intense, or moving the legs down to make it easier. But be sure that both shoulders are staying grounded to the mat. Inhale, drawing that breath into the spinal cord. Exhale fully and slowly, feeling the gentle decompression. I'm going to leave you here for the remainder of our time in this pose. We have just over a minute left. Drawing one more inhale. As you exhale, gently untwist the body, releasing the legs. And whenever you're ready, we're just going to take it to the other side now, bringing the right leg on top this time, and getting that foot around the ankle if possible. Inhale, cactusing the arms. As you exhale, allow the legs to gently fall to the right this time, as you look over the left shoulder. Once again, being sure that both shoulders stay grounded to the mat. If your mind has begun to wander, simply notice whatever is coming up for you without judgment, and then come back to that breath. Inhaling and exhaling, surrendering to this moment. Inhaling as you welcome newness, welcoming a beginner's mindset today. One of the biggest things as a competitive athlete myself that helped me overcome some mental blocks is realizing that perception is your reality. That if we believe we can do something or can't do it, we have already determined our destiny by placing limitations on ourselves. So today I would encourage you to let go of what you think is possible, or maybe the limitations that others have placed on you. And instead of coming up with reasons why you can't do something, start asking why not you? And what would it take to be you? To be the person that accomplishes something that you've always dreamed of? Because when it comes down to it, most of the times the person that holds us back the most is generally ourselves and our own beliefs about ourselves. But if we can keep an open mind to the possibilities and move forward with self-awareness and honesty, good intentions, and an attitude of surrender, then the possibilities are endless. When you're ready, go ahead and untwist the body once more, releasing the legs as you settle into another short rebound. Tucking the shoulder blades down and back, maybe lifting the hips gently and rolling the spine down one vertebrae at a time in order to find a neutral spine. And once again, feel the echo of the pose as you scan through the body. Alright, now for our last asana of the day. If you have a prop such as a bolster or a pillow or rolled blanket, I would encourage you to take the back bend version, but you can also do this without a back bend. So if you have a prop, we're going to place this just beneath the low back, the lumbar spine here, and then we're going to rest back over it, but be sure that the glutes are staying grounded to the mat and that the shoulders come down to the mat. Then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall to the sides, taking our reclined butterfly back bend. And as I said before, if you don't have a prop, then you can just take a reclined butterfly without the back bend. Inhale as you notice the belly rise. And exhale, feel it fall as all the air leaves. Inhale, relaxation into the body. And exhale, slowly sinking a little deeper into the surface beneath you. In your own time, if you're in a back bend, gently lift the hips to remove your prop, and then roll the spine back down, extending the legs, and settling into our final Shavasana. Arms are resting at the sides, palms facing up. And once more, just scan through the body as you notice the effects that this practice has had on the mind and the body. Inhaling relaxation and exhaling surrender. I would encourage you to stay in your Shavasana even longer today if you have time. But if you're ready to finish with me, then on your next exhale, gently turn onto your right side and meet me seated for our final closing breath together. Take an inhale as you reach the arms up toward the sky, beginning to wake the body back up. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, taking a moment to express gratitude toward yourself, toward your body, for all that it does for you. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. This was the final class of our Athletes Mental and Physical Recovery series. If you haven't done these classes from the beginning and would like to, you can find the playlist for this series on my channel page. And if you have been following along since the beginning, be sure to leave a comment below. I would love to hear your feedback on this series or any suggestions for types of class series you would like to see in the future. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help me expand my reach and to support this channel. If you are interested in some longer classes or additional content or perks, be sure to check out the membership options that I now have available by clicking that join button or clicking on the membership tab on my channel page. Thank you again so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it and that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you soon, my friends. Namaste.